Yeah, happy Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday, and welcome to Change Your Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. We got an awesome show planned for you guys tonight. We want to talk about a subject matter that I think that's we got a delay. We're talking tonight about a subject matter that I think a lot of people experience in regards to just having children and being in different relationships, i.e., from divorce, separation, or just not necessarily together at all, but they do have something in common, that being children.
Mhm.
And tonight we're discussing you don't approve of who your ex has around your kids.
Right.
And I think in the ideal world, when people are in, separate households, separate situations, people can be on the same page and talk about, hey, we're good. We see the world the same way. And that's not the case. I think a lot of times when people are together, they can maybe have some kind of common path and common vision when they look how things going, especially with their children, and their future and things like that. But when people split, so do a lot of those shared visions and things like that. So again, what we're talking about tonight, you don't approve of who your ex has around your kids. I want you guys feel free to call in, leave comments and everything in regards to the current topic that we're talking about, and just add to the conversation. The call in number is 678-740-9894. Again, the call-in number is 678-740-9894. And guys, I will say be very straight up with you this week. I really need you guys calling in and add to the conversation.
Right.
Because it will help a lot with the conversation, because I know not everybody, please not everybody, but people have had a lot of different fucking situations when it comes to uh, uh, visions, when it comes to their children, especially even with dating and things like that, because people move on. So I want you guys just to call in and add to the conversation regards to that. Before we get started, I want to say what's up to my awesome producer DJ Lab.
What's going on, brother?
Man,
it's another great Thursday.
Absolutely, man.
I'm trying something new on the Instagram. I don't know if I like the way it look. I'm gonna let it slide this show, but I think I don't know.
All you're missing though, Lab, is just the ends of the sofa.
Yeah, I wanted it to be spread out. Like, yeah, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
the view is still for the phone, but I'm on the computer.
Yeah,
I don't get it. If it's on the computer, let it be the computer view.
I don't know if they do it like
that. I mean, they could make the box smaller. I don't know. Anyway, I guess I gotta play with it a little bit. But anyway,
we're gonna work around it. But
yeah.
And also, what's up to my other producer, Slick316? What's up, Rick?
What's going on, Rick?
Tonight we're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Twitter. But again, guys, feel free to call in. Tonight we're talking about you don't approve of your ex has around your kids. The call-in number is 678-740-9894. Again, that's 678-740-9894. And we're starting this discussion, right? I remember we had a show probably about 4 or 5 months ago. What was that? Tia Mowry or whatever. But one of the damn Mowrys had a name without the T.
Right.
The twin. But I remember she divorced the young man, and we did a whole show on that about can you control, I forgot the damn title, but I know in short, that show was about, when people have separation or divorces, going forward with custody, how things be mapped out. And one of the key things they had, I don't know if you remember, Lab, that they had part of their parenting plan and divorce agreement was that they had to date someone for 6 months before that person could ever get an opportunity to see the children.
Okay.
And I thought that was some weird shit. You know what I'm saying?
That was weird.
Hell yeah. If you got some crazy ass kids and I end up liking you for 6 months, then I gotta turn around and meet this. You know what I'm saying? That's right. That's a long time. I ain't saying spend the night.
Right.
Do this, that, and that. But I'm saying let me at least, hey, little joker.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let me at least do that. And vice versa. Like I said, I ain't saying go fishing or go out with them or
just meet them real quick.
Yeah, meet them.
Okay.
I don't think it's 6 months. Hell, I don't know anybody want to be at bay that long.
You think so? You think, but do you think there should? Well, I guess we'll get into it. But do you think there should be a time limit on when the child needs to meet the new significant other?
Yeah, I think it should be a time limit.
Right.
What that time limit, I don't know because I want to say use common sense, but I think if you sit there and you done met this person, y'all kicking it for a while, maybe a month, a couple months, and then if y'all cool, maybe then think about doing that and everything. But that may be too fast. That may be too long for somebody else. So,
right,
it's kind of hard. But I do think, my personal opinion, I think 6 months. What Rick said, I agree, is going to take some months. For me, because I think you need to make sure you cool with this person.
Right.
I think once I got to figure out, I ain't want to be bothered with you a little bit. And then I just, I guess go further and say, okay, cool, let me go meet your knucklehead kids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Go from there. But I think it's that was a stretch. But with that said, that's kind of what we're talking about now in just regards to, the night show, to prove who you ex around your kids. And I don't think it's nothing uncommon because I hear people all the time say certain things. They've seen certain things. Yeah, I can't sit here and say I ain't got nothing to add to the conversation, but I'm gonna be neutral. Because we'll be
neutral today.
Yeah, we'll be here. Okay. So I just said,
okay. Well, that's good.
He got his headphones on. But no serious business, man. Just I don't think it's nothing uncommon. Sometimes you see, okay, man, it's a cool guy that they're with, or young ladies, because I've never. I mean, just being transparent. I've never been concerned about who my ex-wife was dating, but I'll be lying if I sit here and say I was never concerned about who might be around my kids.
Right.
Fortunate part about me with my kids, I got some big ass kids. Plus, really only one is just really a minor that rest of them grown. So at now, but it was never a situation where I have 4 or 5 year old or a daughter that I can worry about. Just keeping it real.
Right.
With doing that and stuff like that, So I'd be lying if I say I wouldn't be concerned. But I can understand, how sometimes people may have some kind of transgressions in regards to, man, let me just, I don't care whatever this, that, and that, because I think that tough part is what I said before, especially y'all live together, having those shared visions, and now you sitting there looking at everything this way, and then all of a sudden now, like, shoot, what you saw, now you can't tell them what to do.
Right.
And I think that's a funky spot.
Real.
And depending on the status of your custody, you might have no kind of voice to even give an opinion in regards to the person that might have primary custody. Rick says you don't want your kid meeting all these people that will not end up being in your life. I agree. I think a lot of times, like I said, Rick, I want to say use common sense, but that's a big gray term. A lot of times, what I feel is common sense, maybe something totally foreign to somebody else. But I was parents, just use your best judgment. There's some damn sick ass people out here today, and I see too many stories on the news in regards to person that the parent was dating hurt the kid and all this other kind of stuff. And I don't think you have some people that actually do have issues, but I think for the most part, nobody wants anything bad to happen to their child. I think every child is most parents' most prized possession, right? And I think when you have a situation where a child is hurt or something like that happens, no one intends for that stuff to happen, but you can't underestimate, negligence. And if you don't sit here and take the proper precautions to actually watch certain things, you got to be realistic about things can happen or not, right? So when we start having a conversation about you don't approve who your ex is around, I would err on the side of caution. Just remember who everything's about. And what I want to do with my is just throw out a couple things that you can do in regards to the other parent. Just having a kind of conversation with them. These are just suggestions, and I'd be a damn lie if I sat here and said, "Hey, it worked for me," because I sat out here and thrown and suggested certain things, man. And I might well talk this damn microphone with my damn eye closed. You see how far the conversation went. Sexy Redbone 28 says, my opinion, if you don't have a long-term plans with that person, they shouldn't meet your kids. I agree. I agree with that. But you know what's the thing of it is, like this is gonna be my boyfriend.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't necessarily know if somebody gonna say they're gonna marry your ass. They ain't met your kids. I mean, that makes sense. What I'm saying,
Right.
like when does that part come up? Was okay. Now we have something long term in place, right?
Mhm.
So it's still like I said again, goes to err on that side of a caution and judgment in regards to what people may see with that.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
I just say you try to use common sense, and I understand that's a great word. We're doing it, but loud and in this day and age, and I really want you guys to call in.
Yeah, you have to be careful this day.
Yeah, you got to.
Right.
I mean, just one time, every time you turn TV on, boyfriend did this, girlfriend did this, young couple just did this to a baby.
Right.
I mean, it's like crazy as hell.
That's true.
You know,
That's true.
so. But we do want to keep in mind we're talking about that side of being crazy, and then you got the other side of somebody just being a jealous ex or whatever. They just don't want to see you with nobody, and they just raising hell to be what? Raising hell.
To raise hell.
I've heard people say, I just didn't want her to be with nobody. I just didn't want to see them happy.
Damn.
Right? Yeah, you said it down. Like, shit, I think a lot of folks out there like that.
Right.
I never had to go through that. I never had to go through it. You know what I'm saying? I can't sit here and say my ex-wife acted like that. She is like the damn screwed up just to be acting damn screwed up.
Right. Give you a hard time.
I hope she heard. I hope she hears this. but it had nothing to do with another person. With her doing it. But there are some people out there that have different agendas.
Right. Always.
In regards to stuff like say, hey, who's around my kid and this, that, and that.
Right.
And you should be cautious. But I'm going to give you guys some things that I talk about in regards to this. So we're going to go through a couple of things that people might want to consider. And when you don't approve of your ex has around your children, it's important to approach the situation thoroughly and considerately. Thoroughly and considerate. I mean, thoroughly analyze everything you see in front of you. Don't make up stuff if it ain't there. I'm not saying don't. I'm not saying be naive. But try to do as much due diligence as possible.
Okay.
Don't just
okay.
Just
let it go.
Be or be a certain way and it's not there. Okay. But also be considerate that hey man, listen, y'all ain't together no more. Just your feelings, just what your feelings and everything, and let that blind your personal feelings blind your logic.
Okay.
In regards to looking at certain situations. So these are a couple things I want people to consider, try to take in the event, you're in a situation where you really ain't improving on who your ex has around your children. And the first one being open communication. You can talk to your ex about your concerns openly and calmly. Share your perspective and list of theirs. Try to find common ground, work together for the well-being of the children. So we sit there and say, we got right here, TikTok boy. And again, guys, feel free to call in 678-740-9894, 678-740-9894. Now with the open communication, I had just letting somebody know how you feel. What's the key word when we try to sit here and talk to somebody? Because people say all the time, we're gonna talk to them. When you go talk to people, remember what I always say, guys. Be prepared for what come back.
Right.
It could be something that just some of the most ignorant, stupidest shit you ever heard in your life. Or it could be something that you like, damn man, like, cut you deep.
Right.
Or something you just, you
right.
You gotta be prepared.
The cut deep part.
Yeah, exactly. And you gotta be prepared for non-communication. I wish sometimes I can have better conversations and stuff like that. But sometimes I had to get to a spot where it is what it is. And so when I listen to guys talk and share ideas and solutions with each other, I can always round about like, yeah, that's cool, but that doesn't mean a person gonna do that. If I call Lab to say, hey, Lab, this is how I feel, I'm not guaranteed Lab is gonna talk to me.
Or agree with what you're saying.
Agree with me, or even give me the damn conversation.
Okay.
You feel me?
Right.
So and people have to mentally prepare for that.
Yeah, Lab be acting funny.
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying.
That's just something people that think about. What's it Ricky said? The kids are deal breakers. You don't want to give them a lot of aunties and uncles.
How we
damn Ricky, they have a lot of damn lenders. Mom, you sure got a lot of people getting your money. What they gonna do with rent, do, Rick? Rick said, all the aunties and uncles.
Love Lisa says, well, don't leave the kids. You can't control others' future. Trust the parent.
I agree. Don't leave the kids.
Don't leave the kids.
No, well, you know what?
You can't control others' future. Just trust the parent.
Trust the parent. With the kid, I think naturally a lot of times we got right here. Touching. I don't know what's going on with TikTok. I don't know if people joining in with that, but the thing of it is, a lot of times I think people have intentions, the right intentions, right, in regards to like, hey, we can co-parent and do certain things initially, right? Sometimes you might feel some type of way how you have to set up everything, but what happens a lot of time, Lab, and once the old co-parenting phase starts, and then they start living,
right?
You start living, that's when shit go left.
Okay,
right? You know what I'm saying? So, you might think you're a fly type of guy,
right?
And Pooch is a standard,
right.
Pooch done seen some things. Where he come from?
Well,
what I'm saying?
I really hadn't had to deal with this as when I got divorced from my ex. Because my kids were older, like you said. My kids were, my son was 19 when we got divorced, so I didn't really have to deal with that issue because luckily I waited. The bad stuff in the relationship started happening once they got older, so I didn't really have to deal with that. But I get the point. I think if I was a single father, like got divorced from my ex-wife and still had children that were smaller, I think I would have limited how many people I had around, because children are influenced a lot. We don't really realize how much children watch us and mimic us as parents and try to be like us. And when you have all these people in and out your house, that tends to give them especially me when I have a little girl, my little boys, parents, fathers tend to, guard their little girl a little bit more than they do their little boys. Don't ask me why that is, but that just generally tends to happen. I just didn't necessarily want her to see wouldn't want her to see no women coming in and out the house, especially when they were visiting. When they were visiting, if they were little when we got divorced, while they was visiting, there wouldn't be nobody over anyway, because that's their time. You get what I'm saying? I wouldn't want to have to split the time between somebody I'm dating and my children, because that's that creates a conflict within the relationship that you have currently sometimes.
Let me ask you a question. Again, guy, we're talking about you don't approve of who your ex has around kids. Again, you don't approve who your ex has around kids. The call in number 678-740-9894. Again, that's 678-740-9894. What I do want to say, guys, wherever you come, platform you come in, make sure you hit the like button while we're doing the chat. Please make sure you hit the like button if you come into the chat room. We're coming to the live. What I will say is that I'm gonna ask you this question. I know you didn't go through it, but if you stop for a second, like, can you still say, I really don't? I know you got a good idea,
right?
But you don't be knowing. That's safe to say you really don't know because you didn't have to go through it.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you why I asked you that. Let me say this. Because I went into that situation with bigger boys. I don't necessarily know if I'd have went into that situation the same with younger boys.
Right.
I had like Will's a teenager now. But at that point, Will was like 12. But Chris was still 17, 16, 17, big kids. So it really didn't mean too much of them, right? It didn't mean too much.
Right.
But when you start turning around like you got little kids, I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know. I think it's easier for me to say what I would do, what I would do and everything. But I'm just, I can tell you when I see shit now, like, the hell, who the hell,
Right.
And you find out quick, shit, you can't do nothing about that.
Right.
You can't do nothing about it. And that's one of the things I think that's really unique. Actually, you ever look at paternity court or see certain things, you hear a lot of men like, she won't let me see my kid. She won't let me see my kid. And I think a lot of times, on me sound heartless or dirty, a lot of time brothers will put themselves in some real funky ass situations
Uh-huh.
because they're so concerned about not paying child support, they ain't get their kids legitimized,
Right.
and then the girl was acting one way, they get a new dude, they start acting another way,
Mm-hmm.
and you find out your ass ain't got no damn parental rights,
Right.
and then you got to go through holy hell just to even just see your baby again. Next thing you know, a year or so, maybe the damn
Passed
past.
by.
Yeah, was
And
doing
the baby called him dad.
yeah, because you so damn concerned about not paying $400-$600 a month.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
And that's, I mean, being straight up with that though, like being straight up
Right.
with that, because I've tried to have conversations a lot, in regards to the powers that you can have once you get legitimized as a parent and stuff like that. Those kind of things, I think a lot of brothers miss out. And I'm just speaking off conversation and stuff like that. Do all of them do it? No, but I think most guys don't really want to get caught up with child support because they don't want to pay the money. Not that they ain't trying to take care of,
right?
But just be caught into things. Well, I don't want this to come out, this, that, and that. I get it. I get that part. You don't want to have to be stuck in, man. I might have to get out of this. Might have to take care of that. I get that aspect, but I still go back to, by avoiding that, you put yourself in a situation where you have no damn rights.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's one of the biggest funky things a lot of guys don't realize until it happens. They say, man, I did this. I've been paying for this, but it's not through the courts. It's not on paper. It's not on paper. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, let me ask you a question. Do you think, do you think like you can have a conversation, like if your ex is dating someone and you really don't approve of him, he or she or some, maybe just you feel the elements that you see are not really good. Do you think that conversation can be had, or do you think that conversation will even go well? Because to the point to where your ex is saying, man, like Lil Lisa said, like this my life. You ain't got, what I'm saying, you had your chance. You know what I'm saying? This is me. And you think I'm gonna bring somebody around my child that's gonna do something bad to him? Not,
Fair question.
Because that conversation can get real sticky once you start having it, because then not only are you questioning their choice of person or partner, but you also kind of question their parenting skills too at the same time.
I would say this. Before you say something to them, ask yourself this question. Do I have a concern or do I have a gripe?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like really, really true.
Have you seen something that concerns you?
Yeah, do I have a concern?
Right.
Or do I have a gripe?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it talks too fast. That joker down, he's
slick.
Yeah, he's slick. He smiles too much. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He tatted up. He doing it, you know what I'm saying? Just he come in with his car. Like that's a gripe. But if you see him like, hey, he doing drugs around, he cursing, some stuff that can have some kind of detrimental impact on your child,
right?
That's a concern. But a gripe, man, he coming out like, you know what I'm saying, he tatted up,
right?
He loud, he ain't you,
right?
You know what I'm saying? And that's a gripe. And that's why I say, like, before you have that conversation, ask yourself that question. Because you lose a lot I think of credibility. Because here's the deal, like what I'm about to say. Anytime I come to you on some stuff how I feel, right?
Right.
You, ex or whatever, like once I start, like if the shit ain't got no validity to it, they might be less responsible to the next time I have a concern or a question, right? So we gotta be realistic. That's why I say you gotta get your personal shit out of it. Right. So that's why I say, is it a legitimate concern or is it just a gripe because you don't like that person? And I think if you ask that question, I guess yourself that question, you probably see that answer the question you asked in regards to, is it gonna get in the well? Now again, you don't know. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, if y'all already have y'all have levels of communication, that's probably won't be a problem. But if y'all don't really have levels of communication, that shit may not go nowhere. And that's one of the key things. Like, I think a lot of time people don't stop for a second,
right,
and ask themselves this question: it is just a personal gripe I got because I don't like this person,
right?
For whatever reason, how they talk, how they smell, how they look, or whatever, or how I still feel about her or him,
Right.
or this some stuff I'm seeing like, man, listen, this joker here, man, look, man, I ain't feeling none of this stuff. They got my kid around, you know what I mean? He doing the drugs.
Mm-hmm.
They got all these folks in and out of the crib, all this other kind of stuff. Those are concerns, right? Legitimate concerns that can have some kind of impact on your child, right? A negative impact and stuff, So I think if you ask yourself that question first before you try to do any kind of initiation with a co-parent, that probably kind of, because you still gonna be in your feelings,
right?
But I think if you do that, I think that should be, that should help. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my name show says the conversation has to be had between very mature adults. I agree. I mean,
What
I guess
is it?
I guess the conversation will need to be had eventually. Let me ask you another question. Do you think that, me and I always get the bad end of the stick sometimes when it comes to relationships and children and stuff. Do you think that this gripe with the significant other being around your children is a problem that's more prevalent with men or women, or with the woman or with the man?
It's gonna be more prevalent. It's gonna be more prevalent with
in your opinion. Now, this is not we haven't.
Well, I think it's a fact. I think the fact is gonna be more prevalent with men having a problem initially, because most of the time the kids live with the mama, right? But also it can happen either way. I'm just saying it happens that most of the time, because a lot of times the kids with the mama, and it might be kind of a toss up here, and I'm just keeping it real.
Right.
If the daddy gonna be active or not.
Right.
So that's just being real. So somebody coming in with that, then daddy come around, and just nothing on paper. That's why I say a lot of time when the structure ain't there, we just gotta go by the structure, right? So I think when that's in place,
no, go ahead.
No, I think when that's in place, that's the thing with that. But no, man, I done heard plenty of damn women or seen they didn't like the way that man might have moved forward, and they cut the hell up. A lot of times people can't, again, they not interested in that person, but they very uninterested in seeing you with somebody else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that could be both sides.
I can say that definitely could be both sides. I don't want to, like I said, we haven't researched this to see what the numbers are, but I just was wondering, what is your opinion? What do you think? Do you think it's more men or women who's more against now? And they may be against the ex's new spouse or new partner based on just because, like you said earlier, just because they're around.
Numbers man _1. What's up, D? The custodial piece. He stated the custodial parent mostly, and I ain't really had that. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I can say this too. A lot of times, just to that point, just looking at that, I can see sometimes, a lot of problems happen sometimes depending on probably the parent. That I don't even know, man. I don't even know. I can't say. Yeah. Because sometimes, see, I don't know, and I never been in a situation like that.
Right.
Because I could say with my personal situation, my stuff didn't necessarily, that wasn't necessarily an issue in regards to, being concerned of who they dated. But I don't think the maybe animosity might have been because of who I dated. I think problem just because hell, although they're being happy.
Right.
But so when I seen stuff like, never an issue like, because I'm one of them people, I would never have nobody around my children. I'm very cautious of that. And then, we're doing it, you ain't gonna have anybody. But I ain't gonna sit here and lie and say like, nah, that's how it was on the other side. And damn well I ain't what the hell going on.
Right. Yeah. I think a lot of times our children within a relationship by both of us can be used as a pawn, because the ex may not, the mother may not let you see him because of this, and you may not want to do something because of that. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of times the children are in the middle, and you and your ex are bouncing them back off each other, trying to use them as a weapon to get you or him or her or you or him to do what they want you to do.
Yeah, and that's possible that gonna happen again, guys. We're talking about you don't approve of who your ex has around your kids, feel free to join the conversation. The call-in number is 678-740-9894. Again, please call in. The call-in number 678-740-9894. And I'm going for different suggestions I think a parent can take if you are in one of these situations and you have an issue with who is around kids, things you can actually, initiate with your co-parent or during the process that can probably alleviate the problem or help put you in a better space.
Mm-hmm.
And the next thing I got is just legal advice. If your concerns persist and you believe that there is a serious issue affecting your child's well-being, you can consult with a family attorney.
Mm-hmm.
They can provide legal advice on your problems and options to guide you through the process. And let me say this. So, I'm somewhat familiar with this situation.
Right.
One thing about it, whatever's on that parenting plan,
mm-hmm.
first of all, the parent plan is there. If you don't have a parenting plan and there's no kind of legal guardianship and all this other kind of stuff, again, man, like, shit, you're in a funky spot.
Right.
You're in a funky spot. That's why I say sometimes we got to be less concerned about child support and be more concerned with, custody. Whatever that is, because I understand, people have different stories. We'll do a show about that too. Like,
right.
Doesn't matter what they're spending on your child support. I had the video last night, man. I getting a lot of traction online where I was like, do you feel like somebody should have to do more than what they pay in child support? Just say the court deemed you to pay $500 a month. Should you morally be obligated to pay more, or just that should be enough? And everything. I don't look from the right or wrong. Just getting everybody feedback.
Just a general.
Man, I ain't had a chance. I seen paragraphs. I'm coming.
You ain't had to read. You ain't had a chance to read it yet.
I ain't had a chance to read yet. But that's one of the things. I think a lot of times people have to be very honest with themselves about when we talking about the custody and who's around your kids.
Right. You
got to start. And I'll be straight up with, because like I said, most of the time the ladies get the kids. Guys, focus less on damn child support, focus more on custody. Because if you don't have some kind of guardianship in place, like you can't really voice now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Okay, so once you have that, again, we talking about that whole aspect of seeking legal advice. The attorney gonna tell you to refer back to that.
Right.
That's the shit that's set in stone. Either you agree to it or the judge put that in place. And you're not liking somebody. That goes back to what I said. The classic example: you ask yourself before you talk to your co-parent. When you see a person that they dating, they don't like, the first question you need to ask yourself before you say something to them:
right,
is this a concern or is this a gripe? You got to ask yourself that. Right?
It's a concerning gripe.
I don't like them.
Right.
It's not a legitimate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's
not legitimate, right?
Yeah, you can't. Because you know what, dog? You know what, though, man? You know what I'm saying?
It sound good.
You got your new person in,
right?
And they got their ways.
Right.
Everybody got different ways.
Right.
Say, okay, she boozy, she loud, she thinks she did that and that. But that's your new girl.
Right.
However, right? That's her. But your co-parent, why she talk like that? Why she that?
Right.
That. You don't want to hear that shit.
Right.
Now, if they disrespect, you don't want the new person to disrespect or say something around the child.
Right.
They could make about the parent or something like disparaging or anything like that. But for the most part, man, what's on that parenting plan,
right?
That's it. And I think from a legal standpoint, I've talked to attorneys before. Hell, even from a personal standpoint, unless it's something that's again that concern and maybe putting the kid in kind of inherent danger, shit you can do.
Right.
You can
even if it is inherent danger, there's no guarantees that the child gonna come to you first anyway. Slick says that signing a birth certificate doesn't seal the deal either.
Hell no. When signing a birth certificate says that you admit paternity,
right,
and you make it easy for you to put you on child support.
Right.
You have to get a parenting plan in place.
Right.
There's no other way around it.
Right.
There's no way.
Go to court, say my name on this birth certificate. This is my child.
No. By signing the birth certificate means they're going to put you on child support.
Right.
Without any kind of, they don't need a parenting plan.
Right.
That's why that's why we did a whole damn show about that.
Right.
Like, listen, man, and I'm telling you, man, every day guys go through this shit all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I'm sitting here like, you look at these shows like paternity court and all that kind of stuff. If you have any doubt, a man shouldn't sign it.
Right.
If a man has doubt, they shouldn't sign it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you don't have doubt, if you have doubt, I'm not gonna be cold and cattle. Something to be real. Don't you take your ass down to the hospital to go see that baby?
Oh wow. Not at all. Even if you've been through the whole birth.
I mean, don't even do that.
Don't
if
do
you
it.
don't know.
If you don't know,
because you won't create bonds.
Right.
I've been through this. Now, lab, I've been through this stuff.
I get what you're saying.
I've been through this stuff.
But
not me, but just with family members. I'm gonna be real, man. You go down, you go hug this baby, kiss it, and all this other stuff, but you still thinking.
Right.
And then you're like, okay, cool. You find out, you know what I'm saying? Like you still no. If you have doubts,
mm-hmm.
do not sign a birth certificate.
Mm.
Parents, if you have a younger child or whatever, this, that, and that, they might be, underage or even a young adult. The young adult you just can't ever suggest. But if they young, man, don't let them sign shit
at all.
Don't let my hell no. That mama, baby, daddy, maybe stuff real. and you know something, I'm sitting here thinking about conversation. In regards to just right now, we're lucky to be in a situation right now, Lab, where we have technology where we can find out just like that paternity, right? Old school, just being real. A lot of our pawpaws and grandpa, man, about 4 or 5 of them, grandma were lit too now.
Right.
We admit it, we don't admit it.
The most definitely.
Yeah, 1 or 2 out of them 5 might not have been pawpaws.
Right.
No, real talk, man.
Hey, trust me, I know.
Hey, real talk. 1 or 2 out of them 4 or 5 might not have been pawpaws.
Right.
But pawpaw didn't have DNA.
Right.
They couldn't check that.
Right.
And they just went through it, man. And a lot of times, man, you talk some real OGs, man. You sit there and talk my granddad and their friends and all that kind of stuff. Like, man, that wasn't this one, that was old, and they knew.
Mm-hmm.
They knew because even if they were wrong, they had serious doubt because they know that they might have stepped out, they might have known their wives stepped out.
Right.
Because a lot of times we get younger, we see grandmama, great grandmama. Okay, cool. Now they were young and buck at one time too.
Most definitely.
You know what I'm saying? If you're a female and you're 40, 30, 45 years old, you might have had some kind of transgressions. You think your grandparents didn't either?
Right.
I mean, that's stupid. And so at the end of the day, and the thing that the men today don't walk around with doubt, Papa did too.
Right.
Just did. And think about it, like that's just like the ultimate imprisonment because they were in situations they couldn't check. They couldn't check.
Right.
So you see sometimes guys be like, man, I ain't do this, that, and that. They ain't even say nothing to this kid. A lot of that shit because it was doubt.
Oh wow.
Just think about it for a second, man.
I'm thinking about
it, man. The men in that era, man, sometimes, because, they did wrong, but they also had wrong did to their ass too.
That is true.
Man, did you ever read Iceberg Slim Pimp?
Yeah.
And you seen the stuff like his mama had, what his mama did, his daddy.
Right.
The guy that raised him, she just was, mama.
But wow.
Hey. But I'm saying, I say all that to say that wasn't, so ain't no new phenomenon.
Right.
But so I think DNA has, changed a lot of things over the years and stuff. That's not like a damn women, but like I said, that mama's baby daddy maybe stuff.
It's real.
That ain't no new thing, right? Real talk. It's just now you can check it.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I still go back to that whole premise. Guys, if you be less concerned with child support, be more concerned with custody.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, until you actually have legitimate custody, again, legitimized, you don't have no kind of parental rights.
Mm.
But you have all kind of liability from a child support standpoint.
Right. They make sure of that. That's kind of crazy, right?
Well, nobody tell you sign that damn paper.
Right. I mean, but that is kind of backwards. You sign the birth certificate that's saying paternity, this is my child, but you don't have any parental rights because you haven't legitimized it. But the problem you have is that you're gonna give me all the legitimizing responsibility when you get that child support. It's like you get what I'm saying? It's like it's kind of dumb to me because you willing to put me on child support and all that other stuff, but you're not really giving me no parental rights. And so I'm doing exactly the same. I'm getting all the same responsibilities I would if I had parental rights. Like,
well, the rules.
But we are talking about the state, though.
Well,
we
the
are talking
rules
about
of
the
the
government.
game.
Like,
if you want to play it, you gotta play it.
Right. I mean, we are talking about the government. Who we can't expect logic out of them. So anyway.
Okay, let me read. Sexy Red Bone 28 says, so true, cause I look at some of my dad kids with their other mom and I side eye. She funny as hell. That must be damn.
Well, I mean, I agree with her and you. I mean, my granddaddy, you know, a lot of my uncles and uncles have different last names. So I mean,
people knew.
You know what I'm saying? Like, out of the 10 kids, 5 or 6 of them had different last names.
Well, they said they playing spades, got 4 in the pasta.
Exactly. Then my granddad had a whole nother family. Us came from somewhere else. So you get what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Real talk, man. Real talk. But from that legal advice standpoint, guys, I'm just saying, you know, what's documented was documented. You know, what's said is what's said. But, you know, if it ain't documented and putting stuff in, you got to be, you know, careful with that. Again, night show, we're talking about you don't approve of who your ex is around. Please call in. Nobody call in tonight. 678-740-9894. But, you know, just
they all approve. They all approve.
They all approve. Hey, just say your name Roger Rabbit or Jessica Rabbit. You ain't got to give your real name. Call in.
I think it's hard to disguise the voices. That's the problem.
Ain't nobody else. We still don't call names. That's 678-740-9894. Again, that's 678-740-9894. And a good thing to do also, I think, just like I just said, for document concerns, keep a record of specific incidents or behaviors that concern you. Having a documented record can be helpful if legal action becomes necessary. Unfortunately, sometimes by the time you want to take some legal action, maybe something doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said be very, very careful about who you have around your kids and stuff like that, man. Because this shit is really disheartening when you turn around on TV and you'll see what somebody did to some baby and everything. You know, just like that shit wasn't necessary
at all.
You know what I'm saying? So I really want to caution people to err on the side of caution when you're dealing with people, and also who you have, excuse me, around your children. You know, with that. But guys, you got any, you know, thing to add to it? Just like again that you are in a situation not with somebody anymore. You didn't, you weren't feeling certain situations. Feel free to call in 678-740-9894. Again, at 678-740-9894. And one big thing I think people need to make sure they're doing is focus on the children. Keep the best interest of your children in mind, always. Courts are prioritize well-being of children, so any action or decision should be made with their welfare a primary consideration. And see, one thing about it though, that's what we going back to what we talked about earlier. That gripe and concern.
Right.
You gotta sit here and just say to yourself, like, look, man, because you could be all like, you don't like this person, but the kid love him.
Right. They playing baseball in the front yard. They going to the races. They going up flying kites. They building motor cars. They start a whole new model car and train hobby.
Bought your son some Jordans, some football gloves.
They put him in football.
Thank you for calling Change Your Lives. Who am I speaking with?
For the sake of that conversation, I was going to say Rebecca Rabbit, but it's a great conversation. But I did want to pose something to you all. You may have touched on it some already. When you talk about the happiness of the individual and the well-being of the children, talk about perhaps sometimes when the children being difficult when that person's not doing anything harmful to the child, but the child may be a teenager or a young adult, 2021, and just not ready to see dad or mom move on.
Okay, so let me get clarity on this. You're saying not the actual parent not approving. You're saying more so the actual child not approving.
Yeah, if the child is being difficult themselves, and maybe or maybe not that would impact the ex or the other parent, but that certainly can cause some chaos or tension, if you will, in the relationship.
Do you have an age frame you're looking at? Young, old, or
Uh,
just child pick?
let's say any between the ages of 16 and 22.
16 and 22. So you got a young adult not really feeling, the person that one of the parents is dating, and they're being somewhat rebellious, or just not the best as far as working with the situation, right? Hello?
Yes, and if you would talk, yeah, and if you would talk about any tips with those boundaries and how those boundaries perhaps could transfer over to the parent, the other parent or the ex.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. I appreciate you calling in.
Thank you.
Thank you. What the caller stated was just saying, if you have a child, 16 to 20, 22, that isn't feeling the new person because they have some kind of reluctance to bring somebody in because they still like the parents together. They doesn't necessarily want to see the parent with somebody else. How do you handle situations? I'm gonna be very, very real with you, man. One thing I learned about in divorce is when your kids get grown, they get the hell on. They don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I mean, shit, you have all kind of damn complaints of who the hell they dealing with and screwing.
Right.
And they la da da da. I'm gonna be honest with you. Me personally, I'm always gonna listen to my children.
Mm-hmm.
But it goes back to that thing before. If it's just because you don't like them, it hard me to put weight into it.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna ask why you don't like them.
Okay.
But I'm not really feeling that whole I'm holding up or anything because of what you ain't feeling this or anything like that. And I think a lot of parents do put weight into that.
Mm-hmm.
The flip side of it is the other person might not be studying that shit.
Right.
Yeah, F your son, F your daughter. But I don't. I'm gonna be honest with you, Lab. I've never had that situation happen with me. Let me say that first. There's never been any of my children that come from a man that have 3 grown children.
Mm-hmm.
Never had that happen. My kid's pretty laid back, respectful young men.
Right.
Anything like that. And be honest with you, I guess I kind of look at it the other side like, hey man, I ain't gonna feel everybody you with.
Right.
I'm gonna give you my little opinion, this, that, and that. However you because you might give me so, well, daddy, this what it is. You might pay attention to me, but you're gonna do what you do. Right.
Right.
But
Exactly.
you're not liking and all that kind of stuff. I'm not gonna have nobody disrespecting somebody just because I don't have to do that. But I will say this on the other side: if you're dating somebody with issues like that, and I've been in that situation. Shit, Poochie, this your sign. This your sign. They got this sorry ass son. They got this sorry ass daughter. Run. I'm just saying. So, shit. I ain't trying to, how you be around while you raising your grown ass son.
Right.
And all that stuff. I ain't trying to even do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's more of a benefit to the new person.
Well, let me say this: as I never went through that either. Like I said, when we got divorced, my children were older. But when I was younger, as the person, and I never knew my father, but I didn't want my mom around nobody. You know what I'm saying? So I was very rebellious. I was very, you know what I'm saying? Like I would do stuff just to do it. Like, I was a terror when it came to. Well, my mama dated a lot of men, but when it came to just her bringing somebody around, I wasn't having it. And it wasn't even because I want her to get back with my daddy. I didn't know that nigga. It was just because I didn't want him thinking he was my dad. I didn't want him calling me son. I didn't want him.
No legitimate that something been done.
I just don't want to be. I didn't want to deal with him trying to be nice to me because he's trying to be with my mom. You get what I'm saying? Absolutely. So I was gonna do everything I could to get him to get gone.
Number man _1 said I've been there. Sexy lady Redbone 28. Anybody in LA?
Nah, nobody could comment on
Sexy Redbone 28 said I don't think it should matter. Damn them kids, LOL. And he said run like hell. I know with me personally, and I can be honest with you, my mama couldn't have no serious relationship when I was a teenager up till I left with the army because I was tripping about men being around my sister.
Right.
Shit, I wouldn't go in a year and a half. My mama was married.
Right.
And Fruka was a good dude. I mean, Fruka died a couple years ago. He was a good guy. But I was very everybody knew I was always overprotective of my sister,
Right.
but I was like, shit, asshole.
Right.
But that was my reason because I ain't really trust no man. Nothing ever happened.
Right.
Wasn't no drama,
Right.
trauma,
It's
nothing
just
like
you,
that.
how you
Just
felt.
I ain't trust niggas around my sister.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just being honest with that. Like, nah, I run them off and everything. So nigga, disrespectful as hell. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
never
That's
call
me.
my name, but just what I never disrespect nobody. I'm sorry. I just wasn't friendly.
Oh no, I can't say I never. I stole cars. I took cars. Oh, wake up, his car gone. We in the car. We been gone in the car all night.
Yeah, I ain't for
And
that.
this at 14, 15. I'm in the car. I'm gone.
Shit, I left you in your damn one right now.
Until I graduated high school and went to college.
Really?
Like 13, 14. Luckily I graduated high school early. So when when I graduated high school and I went to college at 15, she got a reprieve.
Yeah.
But before that, she.
Nah, man, but I really found out, just coming out of that divorce. When I came out of my divorce, at that time, 2 were grown. Chris was getting ready to get out, so that 3 of them grown now. Man, you find out real damn quick, man. Shit, they get on their own. They gonna do what the hell they want to do. And you be sitting there trying to make their ass happy.
Right.
They ain't least concerned to make you happy
at all.
So they out there dating and screwing and doing what they want to do. And I got great kids. Don't get me wrong. Great young men. They don't get good sons. Don't get me wrong. But the ones that are grown are grown.
Right.
And they not the grown well. And my kids know shit. We don't straddle the fence.
Right.
I'm a man, but the man keep coming to me for money. You a man. You a man.
You gonna stay on that side of the fence.
Stay on that side of the fence now. Cause you know what I'm saying. Don't be no man and be a boy when you need some money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying. So and they're responsible young men. I ain't had no problem out of them or anything like that, but they do what they do. And they've made decisions that I probably wouldn't have made, or I wouldn't necessarily best in favor. Not illegal, but they growing men.
Right.
So, but I say all that to say they ain't pumping the brakes to say, hey, this probably something that daddy wouldn't advise, or they might come back to daddy. They ain't thought about that shit, right? So why the hell I look like doing?
Right. Okay.
So and that's just with that. But like I said again, the other side when it goes into it, a lot of times they help one person like, man, I ain't want to deal with that. I gotta be putting up with that. Because when you date somebody with a sorry ass kid,
right?
It's like it's like it's kind of like that buy here, pay here, like your credit card little funky. The car look good as hell, but that's a piece of shit.
She had 262,000 miles.
Yeah, it's a piece of shit, but it look good. But you just figure, okay, it ain't gonna be as bad. It ain't gonna be that bad,
right?
Until you get them.
Until you get to driving.
It's burning oil. It's leaking oil coming out the damn parking lot. Every damn thing wrong. But you knew,
right?
It didn't look as bad. And you get them kind of situations like that, man. Badass kid, this, that, and that. They may have. That's a whole nother show. Credit issues, health issues, family issues, all that kind of stuff. Baby, whatever, mama, daddy issues. Those kind of things, like say, you see. Those things, it just doesn't look as bad until you get knee deep. When you get knee deep, that being, you done got a deep relationship, a marriage, that had a child with them. Man, it's shit. You're in the abyss. Stuck like Chuck.
Suck like Chuck.
Yeah. Up, man. Again, guys, tonight we're talking about how you don't approve who your ex is around. If your ex is around, feel free to call in. Who your ex, you don't approve who your ex has around your kids, okay? Feel free to call in 678-740-9894. Again, that's 678-740-9894. And the last thing I would say, you can if you want to and you deem it a situation, want to go further, you can always request some kind of custody modification, but keep in mind what I said before. To request a custody modification, you need to be on some form, shape, form, or fashion of having custody. Right. But in extreme cases, if you believe the situation is harmful to your child, again, if you believe the situation is harmful to your child, right, you can explore the possibility of seeking a modification of custody arrangements through the legal system. However, this is typically a last resort and shouldn't be pursued with careful consideration. That's why I say it's very, very important that we ask that magical question again. When you got a problem, with somebody that your ex is dating, and you want to sit here and address it with your ex, I can't stress this enough. Before you go say something to your co-parent, ask, is this a gripe, or this is, this is a consideration, or this is a gripe? Concern. I'm sorry. I think consideration. Yeah, right. I'm thinking, I'm sorry. I've been running my mouth. Yeah, before you say, address something with your co-parent in regards to your child, ask yourself that question: is this a gripe? Like, I just don't like them or whatever,
right?
Or this a legitimate concern,
right?
It's a legitimate concern.
Or how do you handle it when you haven't seen anything, but then your child comes to you and tell you some stuff that may have happened? Oh, so say, do you deal with the kid even if you don't like them to deal with whomever?
To the point, the question is asked: do you deal with the kid even if you don't like them to deal with whoever? As much as you can take.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, you sitting there like, okay, this is my kid, whoever they with. I mean, if I'm thinking on it right, answer the question correctly. This is my kid. I don't like who they dealing with. I don't like how they moving and stuff like that. But shit, how much you can take?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I say again, you gonna be a man or a woman. You can't be that way. Then when you need, so you turn back into a little boy or girl.
Right.
I don't need to be. I got it, daddy. But then when you need something, hey, dad, can you help me?
Right.
No, keep that same damn energy.
Right.
Keep that same damn energy. Hey, matter of fact, bring me that damn tone you had back. Poke your chest back up.
Right. Tell me this your life.
Yeah, your life. Keep that same damn energy.
Right.
Shit. Hey, any of my kids tell you, hey, shit, what up, Joker there? Boy, you sit there like you had a long Joker. You know what I'm saying? Like you big daddy, you telling me all this kind of stuff and everything. Keep that same damn energy.
Right.
Don't switch up with it. And I think one of the best ways to do that with children, this is just a sidebar. And I think it worked great for me. And I ain't saying I'm just daddy of the year with everything, but whatever your kids do, let them own that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever y'all come out of this shit, it's messed up, or you put them on punishment, but however you do it, stick with that shit. Far too often, I think when people wrong us or our kids wrong, we don't follow through with the punishment, and they never learn.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
let it slide.
Yeah, you sit here, and everything. I ain't sitting here saying like, you told it. You let them learn their lesson.
Right.
You let them learn their lesson. And I think sometimes with parents, we're so scared of letting us see our kids. We're so afraid to see our kids fail because it hurt us and scares us. But we should be more afraid to not let them go through stuff because they never get an opportunity to get that experience. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Shit, go out there and mess up. Like I said, keep that energy.
Do your thing.
Yeah, because again, if I let you keep bucking at me and I catch you after you done buck, you're always gonna keep bucking, but you're gonna feel like, okay, I can keep on disrespecting you. So like I said, go through it.
Mm-hmm.
But now I think it's from answering that, right, I think it just a matter how much you can tolerate. Because like I said, that custom modification stuff, like being real, man, you just gonna hear that shit. Now you come out more money in your pocket,
right?
And you might mess around, and you might put yourself legally in a worse situation
than you was before.
Yeah. Now you paying more child support. Now you got less custody, less rights. Like, well, hey, I'm the one started this.
Right.
Exactly. So be very careful of that. But like I said, that question, that $1 million question, you know what I'm saying? Is this gripe or concern?
Let me. I was gonna ask you a question before we ask Slick's question. What do you do when, or how do you, in your opinion, what do you do when you don't see any concerns? You don't. You like, you met him, he good, whatever, or she good. Y'all done met, y'all done talked, y'all done, you know what I'm saying? Everything. But then your child comes back to you and says, and it may be true, it may be false, it may be because he don't like the person, or she don't like the person, and says something to you about it. Then what do you do? Because at that point, it's your child saying, and you like, hell no, I ain't gonna have my child. You know what I'm saying?
Most of the time, it's gonna be stuff your child said anyway, because you're only privy to what you see when you maybe drop them off or some kind of interaction you have. Most of the time, the information is gonna come to your child anyway, right? Because you might see person in crossing, dropping them off,
right,
in location and things like that. So you may not never ever see shit, right?
Right.
for the most part.
But I mean, but you didn't talk to this person. Like y'all had a conversation. This person came to you and said, "Hey, I'm be around your son, be around your daughter. My name's such and such. You know, I do this, I do that." I mean, y'all had a real conversation. Like,
yeah, I done had one of those. What you talking about? I'm Will, mama boyfriend.
No, I'm talking about like real. Like,
yeah, I'm real.
Like y'all just sit down and talk. Like not that kind. This kind.
I'm Will, mama boyfriend.
Right.
What the hell? That's what I was told. I'm Will, mama boyfriend. But no, I feel what you're saying with that. I think we want to laughing. That's how I was.
Right.
Mr. Chain Gang. That's what I got introduced to.
Right.
But I say this, you all got to listen to your kids.
Right.
If your kids tell you something, listen to them. Your kid might be pissed off and lie to you and whatever, this, that, and that. And you can't do nothing but listen to them.
Right.
And you can address it with that. It's a funky spot. It's a tough spot. Because the thing about it is going back to if your kids tell you what something that something happened and you go address it, it still go back to it depends on the other co-parent, how they're gonna receive that.
Right.
William just complaining.
Right.
He just we did this, that, and that, and all that other kind of stuff. You don't know how that's gonna go.
Right.
But I will say to any parent, make sure you address it and have some kind of concerns with it, with doing it. You just hope, see, man, and this go back to the shit, just being straight up. We gotta be careful with our kids with too.
True.
Because I'm just saying, like, hey, you got kids.
That's a very important thing.
There's some guys got some baby mamas out here. Man, they out here selling and shaking in front of their daughters. And that's how
Instagram.
Yeah, but I won't say it, but that's how you met them.
Right.
That's how you met them.
So what you got? So you can't expect it to change now.
And now your baby out here doing this kind of stuff. Now you got an issue.
Right.
You got to be very, very careful of that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
She didn't get like that overnight. She just was fine.
Mm-hmm.
And everything. But then now you got a daughter by, and now your baby going around your mama dancing like her mama, and you sitting there like, "Grandma, let me show you what my mama showed me."
Wow.
Yeah, then when I see my mom and Uncle such and such do, oh Lord. But
Uncle such and such.
But in all seriously, you gotta be careful.
Right. Slick says that kids learn super quick. My grandson is with his mom now because he can do what he wants to do.
Yeah, and that's the thing about it. That's a great point because again, they get older, they get smarter, they can be manipulative and all kind of stuff. And play on your damn heartstrings and play on everybody else's heartstrings. So you got to protect yourself. So that stuff with them kids, man, I would say actively listen to them, actively talk to them, but you also got to actively protect yourself too from all angles with
what's
that,
going
man.
on.
Yeah, man, but it was a pretty cool conversation. Remember that every situation you need. And it's important to approach these matters with a focus on finding solutions that prioritize the well-being of your children. Consulting with legal professionals seeking mediation can provide guidance based on the specific details of your situation. Brothers, if I can leave you guys with anything, and excuse me, sisters too, because again, I know I've seen a lot of videos where a lot of men will say, "Well, we ain't got to get the courts involved and all this other kind of stuff. We ain't got to do this, that, and that." I say again, be less concerned with child support, be more concerned with the custody. What you can do with your kid, what your rights are, and everything like that. Because again, that whatever money you sitting there worried about, having to be able to pay, shit, you might be this way. You praying to God, you can pay that kind of money just to see your child,
right?
Just to have some kind of impact on your child, just to protect your child. You know what I'm saying? So you got to really, 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 really be real sometimes. You know what I mean? And then sometimes, I think in life just like in business, sometimes you be so worried about that sacrifice now. And I understand that, like in big picture wise, the whole totality of the impact
of everything.
Exactly. So that I'm being honest with you guys. So those two things we talked about: is it a concern or is it a gripe? And like I said again, don't be so worried about child support. Be focused on custody, okay? Look, guys, I love you guys. Had an awesome show. Thanks to the young lady that called in and stuff like that. Guys, make sure if you came in, whatever platform for TikTok, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Go to the YouTube channel, Changing Lives, hosted by Deonte Burden. If you're on TikTok, you can phone of that. If you're on TikTok,
oh wow.
If you're on TikTok, you can always go to the bio, but you can just Google Deonte Burden. You'll see the YouTube channel come up and everything. But guys, listen, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate the love and support. You guys take it easy, be safe, and I will talk with you soon.